Boom, boom. This is everybody. Welcome back to the channel. All right, so we got a little bit of Soul Lander loaded up today. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got going on real quick. We do have Bibi up again. I think this is the normally this would be, this is the third one, so normally this would be the introduction of a new character, but they did not introduce a new character yet, probably because we're going to be on the SSP characters next. So they're staying with Bibi, who was the most recent. So I've already done a couple draws for her. I already did the 10. I got lucky. I bagged a 50, but I didn't need it. I only needed like 8 shards to actually get her, but I got a bunch of shards for her. So we're going to go ahead and summon her. Okay, so we got SP under the Pope, Divine King Bibi. Like I say, supposed to be, by all accounts, the strongest character from the SP version, which would make her theoretically the strongest character in the game global. They do, of course, on the China server have the SSP, so those characters are, of course, probably going to be a little bit stronger than she is in terms of what they can get. So, but this is where we're at with her. Let's go ahead and get back on this. Comments. Nobody got a comment on her yet. Rankings on it. So now we've got her summoned. So let's go over and scroll down to her. She's right here just from minor base. So she is at 6511 just from no cultivation whatsoever. She's already at 6511, which means she's pretty big in terms of what she's got just from her base stats. I got enough to bring her up, so I've got 20. So I've got enough to pop up her 2, probably. Yeah, I'll be able to get 2 out of her. I'm going to get this reward first here because that's a pretty big jump. But like I said, I did get 50 shards for her on the second pool, so I had a bunch of stuff. Soul rings, everything, pretty much basically. Got to go ahead and start over the time, working this up and getting it on there. I've got a set of triple S herbs for her. I've already made them. Right here is the set. Thunderclap, Snow Lotus, and the 900 Begonia. Got a pretty good attack on too, max attack here on this one, which is really good. Which is going to feed into her being the most powerful at all. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to mix and match. I'll probably use that that one 900 Begonia because it's got a max attack. I'll probably pull two of the best ones from Hugh and put them on there. Then put the 2 that I'm going to be working up back onto Hugh and work them from within her, so that I'll have all of the ones maxed out on her. I'm also going to move the actual Soulbone set, extended bone set from the claws, Terror Claws from Tang San, and put them on her as well. So the next time you see her, she's going to be pretty maxed out in terms of equipment and in terms of extended, Soulbone set, which is the 2 levels. You got the armor, Soulbone set. The armor, of course, is a work in progress. I'm going to have to go back and I'm going to have to actually obtain all of those because there's really just no easy way to do it. You just got to work through and get the soul rings. I've got a lot of them, of course, but I don't have some of them, so it's difficult. Okay, so let's go ahead and there's no max. There should be a way to max this. Why isn't there a way to max this out? So I'm going to have to sit here and set 5 all the way to 2, all the way to 120. Well, it won't take that long. As you can see, as you start to get a little bit, higher up, you start to get a lot of actual stuff So as you can see, I'm not even going to get into my... Okay, so there, so she's maxed out. 120 is currently in with max. Upgrade. One click add. 4-star. Okay, so I was just a tad short. So I need 2138, 3040, so like 700. But we've got those. What you just saw was just in the actual bag, not the actual, on the actual thing. I've still got a bunch of shards. That's right, tied up into my bag right here. All of these shards right here. So yes, I am always prepared to use my shards. I think this will be enough to do it. So she's at 9469, just at base. So this should be able to, yeah. Okay. There, so she's maxed out. Okay. Cultivate. Okay, so I think 5-7. That's it. Yeah, that's the maximum that she can be cultivated at. So that's pretty much maxed out. Okay, equip. We've got this on tanks and Symbio's fitted. So I've got the Angel Holy Shield, which was an SP, but I didn't particularly want to actually use that. I'm going to have to look through these and figure out which one I want to put on her. I just have to see which one, which one's best. It'll be one of these. But I want to take a look at her skill set, make sure that I match that up exactly. Because what we don't want to do is we don't want to get stuck, putting a melee type weapon on her when she's controlling, she's ranged. Okay, so we want to make sure that we get everything right in terms of that. Okay, so there's a maxed out that. So she's already up to 11. Okay, I've got soul rings for her. And I want to analyze which one beast I want to put on her. Physical skills. Okay. So we got to do a lot on those. Soul stones. I've got a lot of Soul Master shards that I've got to regenerate to get the Soul Master stones. Should be able to get up around, yeah, I don't know, probably about 25,000, which should be enough to come pretty close to actually setting it up. I have to think. And I'm going to be maxing these out as well too. As you can see, I've got pretty much 3 on all of them. So it's just a matter of combining them. Because I've got more. Because when we had that event, the Dulu Realm, you should have... But one of the things I told you to purchase was actually purchase those. soul rings, because it's really difficult to get the soul rings, and you got to have a really powerful team to get up to the max level inside of the second. It's just difficult to get there, the Royal Hunting Ground. It's just really difficult to get to the level where it's actually useful and you can get enough of those soul rings, because the percentage is just exceedingly low. Okay, you can go through 20 tokens before you get one. Okay, so it just takes a really long time, and there's also the fact that it might not be useful for you. Fortunately, since you've got we've got a lot of SP characters, and I've got 4 of them now. I can actually don't have to worry about messing up, running into ones where I have an extra one left over. So it should be okay for that. Okay, so we got going to Martial Soul. Now this is one of the things that you want to make sure you do, and that is, of course, summon. I'm going to have to do those again. So we want to go to the actual altar, gather 245. That's enough to go up a couple levels. Cultivate Dragon Soul. Kick level up. So I was at 316 when we started. I'm now at 320. Okay, let's play Saws. So we're at 79.20. 89.20 now. So we jumped up from 94 all the way up to 100. So we've got quite a big increase in all of the actual 60% team attack def. So that's up 4%. Wasn't quite enough to take me up when I thought it would. All right, so that's all for that. Now, we should be coming out with SSP characters here pretty soon. I'm not exactly sure when that's scheduled to happen. It should be, I would think that they would start it on the next one. Everything else is pretty much the same, okay, in terms of your drawings. All right, like I said, I did hit a 50. But you can switch your Soul Master, as always, through here. Going back on any ones of the ones that you want to go for. All the way back to Tang San if you're looking for that. Okay. Exchange shop was the same. I went ahead and used the tokens in the exchange shop and went ahead and purchased just some more shards for her. Since that's what, she is, since she is the focus. I've got a bunch of, let's see where she's at right now. So she's at 11. She's already encroaching on some of the higher levels here. Let me see which way would be the best to do this. Okay, so we went to blue straight up. Enhancement. They've got really good setup here, but for some reason I want to actually level these up. I don't want to use the enhance to the max. So we went straight to, yeah, we went straight to 240, so that's max. That's good. I was worried, that's one of the things I was worried about. I'm gonna fully awaken. As you can see, I've already got some of these stuff that's going to be needed for that. But I'm going to be fully awakening the equipment and fully awakening the rings. I've saved a lot of that stuff specifically for her because I'd always planned to from the beginning. Got auto attack, one click sweep. Alright, let's see how far we can get this through here. I've got 1,089 in terms of it's probably going to be able to get into the purple. Unfortunately, because of the fact that the last thing that I actually focused on breaking through was maxing out the 8 that are on the main team, and unfortunately the only one I had left was Triple S Die, and he's an attacker. So I ended up using the actual mats to level him up, some of the mats. So I'm not going to be able to, even doing that, it still took me a little while to get started on that. So I'm not going to be able to fully max it out, but I should be able to get up into the purple just on this first day. And there we are. We're now into purple, but I've still got 855, so I can keep going on. I've got a lot of, I got a lot of the actual mats, so it's just a matter of, since I haven't broken anything up this low level, that's why it's going through the lower ones pretty quick. But once you start getting into the red, it's going to slow down, and it's going to start taking probably 3-4 days to actually start getting up the mats for just one level. I saved a bunch of Oscar sausages, and I'm going to use a lot of those Oscar sausages specifically for this. A lot of, I've taken a lot of time to plan this. Okay, so there we go, jumped. So I'm already into the orange. That's pretty good. After orange is red, and then yellow. So we're gonna be stuck right here inside of the actual, but that's max yellow. So I'll be going into red pretty soon. And it's the it's the attack material, the red items. That's what it always is. It's those right there. That's what it always is. Those are the hardest things to get. Low acquisition. Every sweep, you're guaranteed 1. Every other sweep, you'll get 2. It's best to wait on a double day to do if you're going to farm those, which is what I'll be doing in this case, is waiting for a double. Yeah, I'll be going into red next. So that's pretty far in terms of where we're at. Soulbone set, I'll be pulling off a full set of Soulbone set material off of one of the other characters. I think it's almost max, and I'll be maxing it out. Then I'm going to start leveling up the skills, as I said, and I'm also going to enhance them, max out. Like I said, I've been saving. I've got tons of this material just waiting to use it. When you're doing it from a free-to-play perspective, you can't really jump right into it as you would if you were spending money, because if you're spending money, you can always just buy extra stuff if you need it. But on this, you need to wait until you get what you want and just store it, and then when you get it, apply it all at once, and then what's left over you can of course filter down to the lesser characters, which is what I'm going to do in this case. Uh, but it's really difficult to uh, gauge from the soul rings because of the way the soul rings enhancements and stuff occur. It's difficult to figure that up mathematically. I could not find an actual the numbers to run the numbers. If I could run the numbers, I could have figured out about how much I was going to need, but I couldn't find anything to run the numbers. Um, so that's why I just I just had to wait until I could get it and just jump on it at that particular point because I didn't know what else to do. I couldn't get an accurate count, and I didn't. If it's like the soul, if it's like the little martial souls that they've got, um, you know, you'll go from taking 5,000 soul force stones, and then all of a sudden, bam! It takes 25,000 for the next level. It just there's this huge jump, and I didn't want to get caught into that particular point where I was using too many at too much, and because I didn't know what the numbers were going to be. So that's why I held off. But like I say, I'm going to be pulling a set off because I don't have. I've got enough to make two more sets, two full sets for another character. So it's not going to be a problem. I'll put the full set on her, roll her into the main team, and then you know, just like always, max her out, and then I'll start working back to the other team. I'm up for it. The main characters in the front are pretty much maxed out in terms of uh, the basic stuff. The only thing that's not maxed out is their actual soulbone sets. They've all got SP soulbone sets, but you've got to start using shards for them to level them up. It takes shards as well. Um, they're still not an easy way to get a large number. I mean, the only way that you can really get it is some of the specialized events. And I've been taking advantage of that. As you can see in the backpack, I have 55. Okay, so I'm going to start. Those are going to go. These are going to go into. This is. Uh, these are going to start going into upgrading the actual SP soul bones. Okay. I've got this right here. Like I say, I've got a second set of this. These are going to go into start maxing out because I've already maxed out the first set that's on. Well, I haven't maxed it out. Let me rephrase that. I've taken it through the first level of maxing. And that is I've got the 5 stars, but it does go further. So I've got 5 stars. Okay, but there's a lot of stuff to go into it. There is the soul absorption, which I've still got. That's I consider that to be second tier. Okay, first phase is just the basic stuff. The level enhancement, upgrading it. I actually consider absorption to be first phase. Second phase is a devouring and finishing up this because as you can see there's like 4 different sets to this. So as you can see I've already got the attack maxed and I'm not going to HP and I've just got to do the death. But this actually takes soul ring stuff. So it takes all kinds of bones, extended bones. So I can use all these to do that. And max it. It takes a little while to get those. Devouring is, of course, using the actual Phoenix Blood. So we'll have to see. But yeah, that's the thing. So I'm going to be moving that set over to Bibi Dong, and then I'm going to put that second set. I'll probably put it on Tang San because I want to keep the set that I've got on Hu and Wu because they're the best attackers. Wu is the second best attacker, then Hugh, and then we've got Tang San. He's beating Hugh sometimes, but Hugh's still doing out a ton of damage. She does a lot more damage than Ma because Ma is spread out. The main team, Ma's going off the main team. He'll be on the second team. I just don't need him on the first team. Like I said, I did not cost any. I didn't use any summons hardly at all to get him. I purchased him through the actual Soulforge event because when the Soulforge event comes, you can get characters in Soulforge. You might have to save up one of your ice cores and not use them and wait for the next one, but you can get a full character inside of the Soulforge. All the SP chest is a max chest. Okay, so you can get And what I mean max, I mean it's all got all the characters in it current. Okay, this next Soul Forge will have Bibi Dong in it. Okay, so you'll be able, yes, but what you want to start now is focusing on your gods, focusing on the divine skill to bring that up, because that gives you a lot of power as well too. Um, and then from there, it's just basically, until you max it out. And then you're going to start seeing the SSPs, and you're going to have to start all over again in terms of the SSPs. I hear Ayin, I think is the first one, the first SSP coming out, which is good. We haven't had one her. She was the best healer when she came out. Her S version. Ayin. This one right here. She was the best hero, the best healer for a long time. Okay, straight healer. She of course got overtaken when they started coming out with some of the newer characters. Of course, anytime you have a different character, but she was the best healer that came out, and you could get her fairly easily. So she healed for quite some time. But she was a pretty good character. I liked her. I used her on my team for quite a while until I decided to actually start focusing on the fact that you really didn't need a healer once we started getting up into the higher level from the PvE position, because it really wasn't even a close. It really wasn't close in terms of what was needed. You can survive fairly easily without a healer. It doesn't really take that much. You don't need a healer. I'm not running a healer. I'm running attackers. You don't even need a tank. Now, of course, when you start getting to PvP, you're going to need, you're going to need to rethink that. But from a PvE standpoint, when you get to 120, you don't need to worry about it. 4 attackers is fine. You just want to maximize your damage at this particular point. That's what you're going for. Okay, so that's all I've got. So you see her, got her. Going to start moving her in. She's already starting to creep up on the top 4s, and I haven't even really put the good stuff on her yet. So as you can see, 20. She's halfway to being on the main team, and I haven't even done anything in terms of her soul bones, which is where you're going to get a ton of BB, and I've done nothing in terms of her soul beast and her hidden weapon. So we'll put those on, and I'll show you what those are going to be in the next video. But like I'm saying, I have to think it through and make the decision as to which way I want to go based on her skill set, because she's not melee. She's never been a melee character. Okay, that's not what her setup is. Okay, she summons spiders and sends those spiders to do the attacking for her, so she is ranged. Okay, but we have to actually think and take a look at exactly what we're going to see in terms of what we're going to get from her. Okay, so we've got gather all the enemies and stuns them for 2 seconds. Causes magic damage of 100,000 times attack. Okay, we're on the 1,000, so it's causing 1,000 damage. Okay, starts with the full energy. Okay, default attack front row, so default attack middle row. That's good. Make her good for PvP. Okay. Next one. 100 year. Enhanced Death Spider King Martial Soul increases the summoning speed of the small spiders by 22% for 5 seconds. Okay. Enhance the Soul Devouring Spider King Martial increases the explosion range of the small spiders by 30% for 5 seconds. Okay. When attacked by melee, it will reduce the output of surrounded enemies by 17% within 3 seconds. Okay. So if you attack her, you're going to get weaker. Bibi Dong increases area damage by 22%. She's going to be covering the maximum screen here. Damage of small spiders ignores 24% of its magic defense PvP only. Okay. So she's got a pretty good skill set. So this is Elemental Force. maxed out. Yeah, upgrading it's going to take a little while. So we've got Magic Summon Spider. What's that one? Every 4 an additional spider is summoned. It will probably attack the enemy with lowest health. I like that. I think this is one of the things that makes her a little bit more. Ma was indiscriminate. He just attacked. She's going to summon an additional small spider, and it's going to go straight to the enemy that's the weakest with the lowest health and take them out quick. Okay, increases of physical defense. That's good. Divine King Inheritance. Practice talent increases self. 25%. I like that. That's always usable. And then we've got Summer Spider to every. So another spider going to be going to go with the health. And this is not just one. This is every 4 seconds. See, this is what I think. It's what I said about her. That you notice is it takes a while before the characters start pumping out their high level skills. She does it so fast. It's almost instantaneous. I mean, within a few seconds after this thing starts, she's starting to spam these spiders that are exploding all over the screen. So that's one of the reasons that she's given the actual moniker for being the strongest. Another self-defense. Okay. Elemental force. This increased the elemental force, but I need things for that. And then here's the spider. And it is summoned, so every 3.5 seconds. Okay, so, getting there. Upgrade, yeah. So we're still, I still got another second slot I'm going to take onto her. After this, we're going to start using the enhancement stones, but I have saved up some of those spirit advancement stones. So we will be using those. And again, they're going to go for her. They were designed for her. All right, so I think that's all we're going to do. We're hitting into the 30 minutes here. It's a long video, but I wanted to show everybody what we got. In terms of events, there's really an Immortal Orb event that's sort of kind of going on in association with this. Okay. Did it? I think. Oh, I guess it ended. Yeah. Okay. It ended. It must. Yeah. It ended last night. Yeah. It ended last night. So the only event that they've got going on is the actual summit event for Bibi Dong. So definitely you want to participate in that. That's a good event. And get a chance. Hopefully you get lucky. But you definitely want to get her and rank her up because she's considered to be the strong. From a global standpoint, I guess she'd be considered to be the strongest in the game right now. Because since they have not introduced the SSP characters. So definitely something that's going to be a mainstay for your team. And yeah, once we get her up and running, we'll see a big increase. So I was at 316 when this video started. I'm now at 321. So that's a 5 billion increase in my BP. Okay, still of course not on par with some of the the heavy spenders out there, but we finally got our sect settled. There was a lot of confusion, mass confusion as to what was going on. When the server combined, there were multiple sects. There was Fairy Tale. And there were a bunch of smaller sects that had only like 3 or 4 people in them, but those 3 or 4 people were exceedingly powerful people. So what ended up happening was we just went ahead and reset everything, and we just made a new sect. And the new sect is called Divine Flame, and that is the sect that I'm in. Okay. We've got maximum guys. We've got the strongest guy on the server inside of us, and that is Balbuka. He's the #1 guy on the server. I mean, by far. I mean, he's like max. Just massive amount of damage that he can chill out, and he's got. He's head. Let's just say he's head and shoulders above everyone else. Okay, so I have not focused on this like I normally do. I normally focus on this. So I'm up to 69, but I wanted to wait until I got Bibi Dog on my team before I started playing around. So as you can see, Wild Duke is in Divine Flame. Aries Jordan is in Divine Flame. Uh, Carols is in Divine Flame. Seku's in Divine Flame. So as you can see, Divine Flame. Yeah. So yeah, several smaller ones just dissolved. Uh, Shadow Blitz was absorbed. That's Azura. Azura's pulling all of the Shadow Blitz people over. Because we were one of the ones that were absorbed into Divine Flame. There was like 5 sects that got absorbed into Divine Flame. Shadow Blitz was one of them. Azura was put in charge of Shadow Blitz, so he's the one that's getting it over. See, I'm in Divine Flame. So as you can see, pretty much everybody's in Divine Flame that's in the top listing here for the actual thing. Fairy Tale is a pretty good one. They're still pretty strong, but we far overrank them now. All the top people are in my sect, which is good because it's allowed me to already start focusing on my attack buff. I'm getting enough sect coins to actually upgrade my attack buff for my sect, which is always useful. That helps out a lot. So that's been taken care of. So we're over. So everything's moving over pretty good. All right. So yeah. So that's it. So I'll have another video here in a few days, and we'll see what I've done on her on Bibi Dog, and we'll see what she's looking at and see how tough she is. All right. So thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe. Once you subscribe, you'll see the bell. Click on it, get notified each time I drop a video. It's Kinner coming at you from the corner, signing out.